Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Number 6 spot still holding by XRP. Right now we're at 77 cents. We will take a look at the range of price on XRP very quickly. 75 cents on the bottom and 83 cents on the top. Let's go ahead and get started. Ledger Nano, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of cyber attack. You know what? Lots of talk about a cyber attack on the internet itself. Cold storage is what you can do to protect yourself. And right here, Ledger offers that. And there's a great specials and links always with Ledger. But you got to click the link in the description and comment section to get that. And remember, you can trade, buy and sell assets inside their Ledger Live platform directly to your cold wallet. How about that one? Take a look right here from ProCoin News, ladies and gentlemen. Ripple stands to win the fair notice battle with the SEC. We're going to quickly take a look at that. We're 418 days in the crypto innovation under siege in America. Shout out to ProCoin News. By the way, you can get linked to now right off of the link on their page. How about that one? Companies like Ripple, Uphold, Link2 itself, Kraken, Vero Bank, many other great products. Make sure you click it, sign up, get registered. Very quickly, I wanted to show you this. We covered this a couple days ago, but just as a highlight here, I want to remind you that Jeremy Hogan finds this to be important, so I think we all should, right? It's a simple fact in the recent motion filed by the SEC to argue why the fair notice should be struck down. It offered many cases. 75 cases were cited in a Cornerstone report that they submitted to the judge, and a part of those, all of those, let's read Jeremy's comment. He says it best. The SEC argued that the prior lawsuits that they showed as an example and offered for crypto companies provided fair notice to Ripple. Says, however, half of the lawsuits did not involve the sale of digital assets at all, and the other half involved companies that held ICOs, and we know that Ripple did not have an ICO. And he said, oh yeah, the first lawsuit was in 2017, so you know, this is a mess, and it's really a mess in the way that it just keeps becoming bigger and bigger of a mess with the SEC in this case. They had 8 years to figure out how they wanted to pursue Ripple and XRP over it being an unregistered security. And what do we see now? Delay tactic, delay tactic, delay tactic. I have to believe that the delay tactics, this is my speculation, are about them working out some kind of settlement, and if they can't, you're going to see the judge come in and knock it down on summary judgment. But that's just me, and I'm 12 years short of a law degree. But here's what we do know for sure. The NFL has put real money into getting blockchain technology and crypto integrated into the NFL. And they have spent $600,000 in lobby money, and they are very interested in the side of sports betting and NFTs of some of the biggest players in the NFL, like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Odell Beckham, I think his name is. So, and all the other superstars of the league that are standouts. And imagine what those NFTs would sell for once they start putting those out in a market. Here's even more evidence that crypto is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. It's Uber. They said they anticipate being able to integrate crypto as soon as it becomes more friendly environmentally and easier to do in exchange. And listen what he says here.
Chance of Uber accepting Bitcoin in the future? Are you having conversations about this internally? Like, could it happen someday?
And, they always use Bitcoin synonymous with crypto, which is one of the worst things that anybody could do. But obviously, let's roll with it. Here we go.
It definitely could. We're having conversations all the time. I think right now what we see with Bitcoin and some of the other cryptos that they are quite valuable as a store of value. The exchange mechanism is expensive. It's not great for the environment. As the exchange mechanism becomes less expensive, becomes more environmentally friendly, I think you will see us lean into crypto a little bit more. So we're absolutely watching it. And if you say, is Uber going to accept crypto in the future? Absolutely.
Any chance of Uber?
And for Akash Washari, if I hope I said his name correctly here, all I can say is if you find XRP and how inexpensive it is and how you can do transactions 3 to 5 seconds for a fraction of a penny, I think Uber will be on that whole accepting crypto bit much, much sooner. Take a look right here because this gets pretty powerful right here. Talk about changing in the current and tide of the news. The incorporation of Uber and NFL is so exciting. The Super Bowl's coming up. There's going to be so much crypto advertising. They're calling it the Crypto Bowl, right? Yeah. The Federal Reserve will be testing the ability of the largest U.S. banks being able to handle a recession. Oh, do tell. Yeah, the tests will include unemployment jumps to 10%, 40% decline in commercial real estate, a collapse in asset prices, increased market volatility. Really? Well, I think we've got the why. Take a look at that. $30 trillion plus in national debt. And that's just part of it, right? Let alone the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. The majority of money that is circling this earth right now in circulation was printed in the last year or two. The majority of the U.S. dollars that is circulating this earth was printed in the last year or two. I think we know what the problem is. And, for all the people that just think, oh, well, this is not going, we'll be fine. We're fine. Everything's fine, right? I tell you, there is trouble coming. And we have talked about this. Fintech private equity, metals market, crypto itself, right? Fine art. These are all of the places that I am considering for high ground investment for myself. It's not financial advice. But these are places that I talk about because it really is meaningful for me. It's about being in high ground during a correction when the market is dipping and going through something like a recession and trying to find those places because fintech creates innovation. And innovation is spurred out of crisis. We saw this in the last crisis in companies like Uber themselves that popped out of there, right? PayPal existed before then, but became very relevant through the crisis, right? So there's many other companies that you could cite in those times that become crisis companies, as they say, that are birthed out of that time. I do believe we are going to see another moment like that, and it will become the birth of a lot of blockchain, fintech, crypto companies, a la Ripple, XRP. Not financial advice, but there you have it. So taking a look here, let's move on to this. Bloomberg informs us about a letter that a group of senators received on Friday. It basically says that cryptocurrency miners and stakers, as well as software hardware providers, won't be considered brokers anymore. Well, here's some more detail. Let's take a look at this. So if we go down into this, basically what we see here, and we know that from the original infrastructure crypto bill that was supposed to projected $28 billion worth of revenue from crypto alone, in that bill was very bad verbiage for crypto in the dealer broker definition that really encompassed people who are staking and miners alike. So in this, we see from Ali here, it says the scoop is that it says the Treasury in a letter sent to a group of senators today signals that it plans to spare the crypto miners and stakers as well as hardware and software providers from forthcoming broker reporting rules. Now that needs to be made law in the verbiage, but we're getting the tone and the letter sent that will be corrected. We will keep an eye on it. You got to keep an eye on these people here, not to be trusted, right? Show me, don't tell me. That's the way that works. Right here is James K. Filan, who always shows us, and we're very grateful for him. SEC files motion for extension of time until February 24th, 2022. So just 12 days away to respond to motion to compel turnover of notes from 2018 meeting with Brad Garlinghouse and Commissioner Elad Roisman. Ripple objects and says the response should be filed by February 17th as originally said. So in this, we know that Elad Roisman had told, according to Brad Garlinghouse's deposition and testimony, he had said that Elad Roisman told him, "I'm sorry you had to come in here." He obviously did not believe that XRP was a security, and I don't either. But we've been forced to look at that, have we not? Yes, we have. And we're going to look at today and try to take as clear a look as that outcome could be should we see something like that. We've even heard Charles Gasparino telling us his sources say a White House report could say that crypto broadly are securities and that could affect XRP negatively in this case. Or could the case be how we get a clarification that allows XRP to escape a broad designation for crypto? We don't yet know, but I tell you what, it's on us as investors and prospectors and speculators to take a look at it. But before we do, take a look at this. This is Jason Foster from Empower Oversight, who is absolutely amazing. This guy, I tell you, if you thought John Deaton is somebody that the SEC and Ripple didn't see coming, well, Jason Foster is absolutely the second version of that. I tell you what. And again, I've said it, the SEC is now fighting a three-front war. It's against Ripple, it's against John Deaton, and the 64,000 plus XRP holders class action, and now it's against Jason Foster, by the way, who has won the right to receive 1,000 documents of communication between Clayton Hinman, Berger, and Simpson Thacker. Now, if you don't think that somewhere in those 1,000 documents that there's a bunch of communications that they don't want you to see, I got some land I want to sell you on planet Xanadu. And it's nice. It's waterfront. See, we have to understand how this is starting to come together here. The SEC is truly, I believe, against the ropes. They don't want to turn over those notes with Eli Roisman to Ripple. They don't want to turn over these 1,000 documents. And believe me, Jason Foster's not stopping there. He's going even further with other searches he wants done now. And because of the Freedom of Information Act FOIA request, he's won this. They're going to have to cough these papers up. Now think about the information and evidence and damning information in here about the communications between those parties inside the SEC and outside the SEC. Now let's go a step further. Do you think for an instant that any of this, when it comes out, is not going to be good for John Deaton's case and all of us XRP holders? You better think again, because I think this is where you're going to find that these two entities and their pursuits are absolutely going to align in a great way, in even more of a way than they do with Ripple in the SEC case, because Ripple is really, rightfully so, out to take care of theirs. John Deaton is the one that's taking care of us. Jason Foster looking out for the conflict of interest and trying to keep agencies in the government on the honest side of things is going to align greatly, and already is aligning greatly, I believe, with John Deaton's efforts for all of us. I have asked Jason Foster to come on to the show. I hope he does oblige. It would be a privilege and an honor. This new government motion asked the judge for an extra week because the SEC is against the ropes. They were like, look, we've got them, but we can't release them. Empower Oversight says we would have agreed for an extension if the SEC provided the documents they said they finally found, because it has taken, as John Deaton tells us down below, 2 administrative appeals and a federal lawsuit to get the agency to even admit that it has the documents we are seeking. At first, it issued a letter claiming that no such records could be found, which turned out to be false. You know, this is what I love about the tenacity of these gentlemen. When they smell something, they don't get scared and go the other way. They run towards it, right? And I tell you what, anything I can do to move it forward, advance it, or bring attention to it, because it is in the advantage of all of us to have this information brought to light. And I can't wait. Looking right here, I want to show you this. This is a clip from Balancing the Ledger back in 2018. Now we're going to take a look at the nightmare scenario. What if XRP becomes a security, right? And again, I leave room because I personally believe it is a currency, but I have been forced to look at, because of Gary Gensler and the way he's running his SEC, we have been forced to look at how XRP could work as a security, and I don't believe that it is. But nevertheless, with that being said, I want you to hear this gentleman here, which his name is Kyle Samani, who is with Multicoin Capital, and he's going to tell you his outlook on Ripple and back in 2018 time frame, and we're going to bring that up to date, and I'm going to show you some things, because I don't think it's as scary as we believe it to be. And the reason we've discussed it so much on this channel is because I want people to not just knee-jerk reaction, get scared if something like this should take place. God forbid, right? So take a listen.
Brand and everything else. When we look at Ripple, Ripple they keep selling into the market, and based on kind of the SEC's guidance from a couple weeks ago about Ether being not being a security, it's quite clear to us that Ripple is a security. We don't know when that news is going to drop, but the catalysts seem to have kind of gone away from Ripple, and we have very high conviction that it is a security. And so, as kind of the system plays out over time, we think that short will deliver idiosyncratic returns. So the security label is kind of a designation that kind of dooms this cryptocurrency. I think it's kind of a fatal designation. So the challenge with being labeled security in the space formally is that not a single exchange in the world today that trades crypto is a SEC registered exchange. If you go to the SEC's website and look at exchanges, SEC certified exchanges, there's like 10 or 12 of them. It's NASDAQ, NYSE, CFTC, the CBOE.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of them are pursuing financial regulations that will allow them to do that.
And some have broker-dealer licenses like Coinbase and some others.
Right, so Coinbase has got an ATS now. They got a broker-dealer license, but that's a long way away from being an SEC registered exchange, and that's a multi-year process, and that's well known to be a super, super difficult thing to do. And so my point is that if Ripple is labeled a security formally by the SEC, all of the crypto exchanges are going to stop trading Ripple because they are not SEC certified exchanges, SEC registered exchanges. And so if that happens, liquidity is going to dry up on XRP and the price will plummet.
Well, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we will just have to see what happens here. And you know what? Isn't this the moment we're in? This is back in 2018, and shout out to Balancing the Ledger, Robert Hackett, and the other co-host there. And let's take a look here, because isn't this the moment we're in? What did Gary Gensler say? Gary Gensler wants crypto exchange regulation in 2022. That was January 20th this year. So the truth is Gary Gensler wants those crypto exchanges registered with the SEC. This is exactly what this gentleman talked about, but he was specifically citing Ripple and XRP. Now, the fatal mistake I believe he's made here is saying that if Ripple goes off all the exchanges, the liquidity will dry up. Well, Ripple's not allowed to sell to U.S. residents, and we can only get it on Uphold. Ripple hasn't been selling programmatic sales to exchanges since the fourth quarter of 2019, and reiterated they didn't sell any in the last quarter of 2021 either. But they bought $321 million worth of XRP back off the market. The the XRP that they have been providing from Ripple on their escrow releases has been to on-demand liquidity corridors. What I believe that Kyle Samani doesn't have right here in 2018, and obviously courtesy to him because it was 2018, is the fact that Ripple's price is actually coming from on-demand liquidity more than it is the secondary retail market. Because that's the ultimate goal. We are not intended to provide the liquidity for the largest banks of the world. They are. That's the goal. The goal is to bring utility and liquidity from the same place in order to provide value over time. That means the liquidity provided by the people who are going to bring the utility to the network. We don't bring utility to the network. Most of us are buying it because we're hoping the price goes up, because we believe in the ultimate end goal of XRP and its full-scale intended use of the XRP ledger. So understanding that the moment we're in right now is the SEC wants the crypto exchanges to come in and register with them, because Gary Gensler believes not only XRP is a security, but the entire market broadly, maybe with the exception of Bitcoin in his mind. But here's what I say to you to this. Let's say it does become a security. What happens then? I don't know. Maybe it gets fully listed on NASDAQ, where NASDAQ has already been keeping a price indices on Ripple XRP right now, and has been for over a year, almost 2 years probably at this point. I think it was 2019. How bad is it? So it's either Gary gets his way, and if he gets his way and it doesn't go our way, the security exchanges have to, or the crypto exchanges have to register with the SEC, which, by the way, which then gives them the ability to list securities at some point, because they're going to have to jump through those hoops, which means you will be able to get it on there.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.